Hello YouTubies, this is King Scribe and thanks for watching one of my amazing YouTube videos. I'm going to be honest here, I've seen so many comments going on YouTube and on various places in the internet like Yahoo, and they're talking about global warming, climate change, how the skies are blackening with pollution, how the seas are rising up and we're going to drown, how the rain might melt your skin because it's acid. You know this sort of stuff, the crazy making crap. And you're reading it and you can literally see, look, this is what's happening to them when they speak. Foaming at the mouth. Every time they speak, they're foaming at the mouth because they're writing this, and you can literally see them like a rabid possessed cult member foaming. They hate people because people are doing all these bad things. They're killing off all the tigers, they're causing people to starve in foreign countries, yet they complain about overpopulation. So what they're actually doing is contradicting each other all the time. They want people to be killed off, yet they want people to be saved in foreign countries. Make up your mind. But they're foaming at the mouth. It's like soap bubbles all the way around. You can spitting all over the place as they're writing it. Absolutely crazy. This is the type of thing you see. They're talking about the skies blackening. Have a look outside now and again. That could just be clouds. It might just be ready to rain. Sorry. It might just be ready to rain acid rain so it melts all your skin. Alright? Don't listen to this nonsense, guys. Don't go around hating so much, because I can see it on YouTube. The climate change and people starving. Why is it they always say, by the time you've read this message 1 million children will starve to death? That's a lot of people to die in 1 second. In a few minutes. If 1 million people die every second, or 20 seconds, the population of Earth is doomed very quickly. It would only take literally a couple hours to kill most of the people on the planet. 1 million people starving to death in a couple of days is just not likely to happen, is it? It's just not likely to happen. They might be in a position of poverty or extreme poverty where they are struggling to find food, but they're not starving to death. Starving to death or dying. This is what these charities say. They're dying all the time, every single second of every single day. Millions of kids die. You've seen this all the time, haven't you? That's not true. They do live in extreme poverty, I agree, but to actually say this as, it's all our fault, by the way, this is what you get. You get these hate campaigns from nutters who don't really understand what's going on. They don't see that they're actually being manipulated by these people or these corporations. They just think that everybody else is to blame. We're not recycling enough. Actually, I recycle all my rubbish. We're killing off the wildlife with all our rubbish. They see a paper bag on an animal's head, and they automatically start talking about overpopulation. That shows you the mindset of these fruitcakes. Absolutely insane fruitcakes. You guys need to get a life. You need to get out there. You need to find some women. You need to get that tongue deep down and get started with life. You know what I mean? Don't mess around with all this cult stuff, with all this nonsense. If you have a problem with what's going on abroad, start supporting some decent things that do things. You see some of these programs where they are building up charity homes, etc. And, they get watched. They don't get watched. People go over and watch X Factor or something. Start supporting programs like that, because you can shift the way humanity works by what you actually watch. I remember Anavika Challenge, who used to build, hospitals abroad, and also here too, programs like that. Start supporting programs like this. Don't be watching X Factor just because, there's a sense of ego for yourself. What would Simon Cowell think of my singing? Your singing's crap, alright? End of. I can tell you what your singing is. You can't sing a single note in tune, right? Don't bother. You should just go down and be miserable for the rest of your life. I've told you time and time again. That's what I'll say to you. You can't sing, find something you can do, alright? And there's many things we can do. But don't foam at the mouth because you're angry at people because of climate change, which is a load of BS, by the way. You know, they talk about, oh, the world is heating up. Well, listen to this, right? Water. All the ice caps are melting. Let's say they all melt. Well, there's something special about water that they've declined to mention. As water reaches 0 Celsius, right, and it starts to melt, it contracts. It's very strange. You put water in the fridge, let's say in an ice compartment. It expands once it's frozen. Have you not noticed that? It actually expands in the ice compartment, and that's because water has some special properties that not many other gases and liquids do have this property, but at solid it actually expands a little bit, and when it melts it contracts, and up to about 4 Celsius it's at its highest concentration of density. That means that everything closes in together. It's actually more compact, even though it's still a liquid. And what that would do, if all the ice caps melt in, say, the Antarctica, which the world would actually heat up quite a margin to do that. I have to be honest, it have to heat up. You know, in the Antarctica, you can get to -80. So you're talking about at least plus 80 Celsius the world would have to heat up to melt the ice caps in Antarctica. Let's say that does happen. We'll be dead before then, but let's say it does happen and all the ice caps melt, and you get to a point where the seas start to, as they say, the seas would rise. Actually it wouldn't, because what would happen is it would reach maximum density very quickly, and the sea would actually contract, not expand. So you would actually get a lowering of the level of seas. So there's not going to be a massive flood. You get tsunamis, but that's completely different. Of course, once it gets above 4 Celsius, it would actually start expanding again. But these are the sort of lies you get from these climate change nutcases. They don't think scientifically. You know, people say, oh, what about the top bit of the iceberg? Well, that's only the tip of the iceberg, guys. You know, 90% of the iceberg is below sea level, and that's going to melt and contract. That part will add to the water, so it cancels each other out. You don't get a rise in sea level just because the ice caps melt. Something people don't realise. It didn't take me that long to actually realise it myself. It was just some basic high school knowledge. You don't even need to be a PhD student. You don't even need to have bloody A-levels to do that stuff. All you need is some basic high school stuff. And you scruff, eh? High school stuff. Sorry. You need some basic high school stuff to understand that. And that's it. You don't have to be an Einstein. You just use your head now and again. And guys, stop foaming at the mouth every time you actually write one of those nonsense comments, because it just doesn't look that good for you. You're just making me laugh my bloody ass off every time I read them. Anyway, thank you for watching, and goodbye for now. I've actually mixed my words up quite a lot here. Cat, stop, leave me balls alone. Sorry. Get off me. Oi.